Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, we'll be talking about SSH Remote Port Forwarding, or in other terms, SSH Reverse Tunneling. So, what is an Remote Port Forwarding? It's actually mapping your local IP and port number to a remote server IP and port number. So the use case is, suppose this is your Windows machine, and in Windows machine you are running a suppose Python application, Flask application, anything, a simple HTML file you are running over here. Or you have a virtual machine running on your Windows machine, and inside that you have running an app. The requirement is, and you also have an this is must, you must have an public IP virtual machine in any cloud. Any cloud means any publicly accessible web server specifically. So I have EC2 machine where I have installed Nginx. You can have GCP, Compute Engine as your virtual machine anywhere. So this machine must be publicly accessible through a public IP. And this is just a firewall I have just demonstrated over here. So the requirement is, whenever users user can access my locally running application which is running on my PC through this machine's public IP. So suppose this machine's public IP is 103.25.25.25, suppose. So people can just dial in 103.25.25.25 in their browser, and they can access these applications which are running locally. So how we can achieve it? So before that, I just want to show you that this is a little HTML file which is running inside my Linux VM, which is running on top of Hyper-V. I have a video, I just give a link if you want to check that out. So this is the private IP of this one. It only you can access locally, okay, in this machine. Let's start. So let me just quickly show you a couple of things. So this is my Hyper-V Linux machine which is running locally, and this is the EC2 machine which is running on cloud, which has a public IP assigned, and I have configured that on my website, everything I deployed over here. And this is just a command prompt where Windows command prompt. Okay, now how we can do remote port forwarding? You must have seen this command over here. So yeah, let's copy this thing. I'll just tell one by one what exactly are we doing over here. So the first command is SSH, which is the command line to do any kind of connectivity SSH command. The second is the I is the private key or identity file, where you need to mention which private key to use to connect to the particular server. Particular server means this servers. This is the username and this is the server name. So SSH will use this private key to connect to this server with this username. After that, -r means remote. So we are forwarding, like we are linking our machine's IP, the remote machine's IP to our machine, so the traffic can come from remote machine to our machine. So the remote IP I have given over localhost. Now this is the reason why I have given localhost, not the public IP of the machine. I will tell that later in the video. So this is the localhost of this machine, and this is the port number of the remote machine, and this is the local IP where the traffic will go, and this is the port number. So if you have seen this one, this is running on 172.16.0.10. This is a local IP running on port 80. So I have mentioned the last part. So what it does is that it will map the remote port, means it will open an IP and the port number on this server, the remote server, and it will map these two here. So whatever traffic you will initiate on this remote machine on this IP and this port number, it will automatically come to this machine. So if I execute this one, you will see you will get inside the remote machine. Yes, this is the remote machine, but let's see what actually happening over here. You will see there is a local host and port 80 which is listening. This is what we just executed over here. So it just opened an IP and port number over here. Now this page is only accessible to local host right now, like in my PC. But if I do a little curl over here on this local host, which we have just mapped, you'll see we got the page. We got the page which is running locally. This is how you can expose your locally running machine to the cloud server. Now, what is the use case? So you don't have to deploy anything on the cloud at first. You can just test it. This is a prime example of ngrok. If you people have used ngrok to just quickly expose your local service to the cloud. I also use ngrok. I think most of you have used. If you don't use, I'll give a link of ngrok. It's a pretty useful. It's a single liner. It uses SSH reverse tunneling. So let me just connect the SSH tunnel again and explain what actually happening. So we execute this command on our machine given the private key of this server, and we establish a SSH tunnel. Whatever traffic it will come over here on the specific IP and port number will use this SSH tunnel and forward it to my machine, and my machine will decrypt that one and just send it to the respective application. So now what I have entered over here is that in my remote machine, I have Nginx running over here. So I have added a DNS entry with a hyper-v.cloud0.in, which will automatically proxy pass all the requests to this, like, proxy pass. If you don't know, you can just Google it. If you search over here, you can see my locally running HTML file is accessible now through the internet. And if you further dig down how things are working, you can use Barsak. So how we can verify that what are the things happening? So let me just quickly image this one. So this is the Wi-Fi. So if I want to check what are the traffic right now going over here, so this is the this one. So if I just search over here, IP address, this is the public IP of my VM. Okay, now if I just this one also. So you will see there is a lot of SSH and handshake encrypted packet things. So if I refresh this one, you will see SSH, all these encrypted things. So these are SSH tunnel packets. So that this thing is coming, this thing is going to the VM. VM is transferring all the data through the SSH tunnel, and the tunnel or my machine is taking the SSH encrypted data, decrypting it, and send it to the particular application which is running. Now why I mentioned local host over here, not the public IP. Where is this? This is somewhere. This one. Why I have mentioned local IP over here, not the public IP. So by default, Linux will not allow you to expose like by default, if you do a remote port forwarding, only the loopback interface will listen, not globally. Like you cannot hear on 0000. By default, you can enable that one by going SSH enable the gateway port, something like that. I have not tried this one, but that is a little bit of security risk. So by default, it will just listen on the loopback. Loopback means 127 localhost. That's pretty much it. Run as much as application in your local system and just do a port forwarding to your remote machine, and that's it. So see you on the next video. Till then, if you have any comments, if you have any concerns, just do a little comment over here in the comments, or you can reach out to me on my social media. I'll just give a link on the description. Thanks for watching, and do like, subscribe, whatever things you want. See you soon. Peace.